This is to certify that Movie Chats has been classified for live streaming.
Hey guys!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us on what is our first show for 2024. So yes, I'm sat there waving away to little Steve because he joined us just as I hit the intro video. Then I realised I had to shut it down on my camera, and he can't see me anyway.
Can't see me.
So, how are you, Steve? How was your Christmas and New Year?
Yeah, it was good, mate. It was good. I got loads and loads of presents, and yeah, it was a nice break. Mum and Dad came down, so we had Christmas with them. So it was a bit madness, but yeah, it was nice, mate. You?
Yeah, it's not bad. I am now officially on a whatnot buying ban.
I've heard that before.
Yes. So it was hard to try and to explain why I got these 2 parcels in the post today full of pops. So trying to explain to Lana that, do you know what? They're actually parcels that I ordered on the 16th of December. They just haven't arrived yet. So I had to get Magpie Toys to speak to Every to find out where they were. And then when they have arrived, it looked like somebody'd already opened the parcels and booted them around the warehouse floor.
Oh, I swear to God, I had one. I had one. This is one of my pickups. And as soon as I saw this, I think it was Gary. I got it. I saw it. I was like, I'm having that. But it's Captain Planet.
Planet, yeah.
I was like, that's amazing. And luckily, yeah, he put it in a protector for me because when it turned up in Every, my God, I had two parcels arrive that had been thrown into a puddle, and then this the next day was just absolutely battered the box.
So my art studio Catwoman came and the pop box was open and the figure was halfway out. And as you can see from the side of that box there, that's all creased.
Yeah.
So these came in the same box. So it looked like someone's had the proper good rummage through it before they decided, I don't want them. and sent them on. Yeah, but thank you to Magpie anyway for sorting that out. That was so kind of you, sir. And yeah, so I am officially not buying any more on Whatnot.
These Whatnot streams are getting like a lot longer. I'm finding that I'm spending the majority of my life watching one.
Do you know what the worst thing about them is? And I'm sorry, guys, to go off on a tangent about Whatnot as soon as we've come on. We will catch up with the chat. Is because there's one on after the other.
Yeah.
So I can start off with Magpie at 1 o'clock, and then before I realise it, Peachy Bliss is on, and then somebody else is on, and then Jackson and Shaw's on, then Chris comes on. So before I've noticed, I've watched 6 or 7 hours of Whatnot, and I've spent about 80 quid. And it's just like, no, it's got to stop because that was becoming a daily habit, spending so much money a day, and then every other day we're now on first name terms, driver and DPD driver. So yeah, I have to draw the line somewhere. I've got 2 cars that I've got to pay for, and Whatnot's taking the hit.
I'd done my very best the other night. I come out of it and I was like, right, well, I think I watched Gary and then I watched another lad that they'd put us through to, and ended up with 2 soda pops. 3 soda pops, and Captain Planet, and somebody gifted. I forget who gifted it me now. Gifted me a soul pop, which was lovely of them. But I was like, I felt like I'd a win because I'd only come away with a few bits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. I'll see where the plug is there.
No, that's it. See that. So, if you don't mind me asking, how much did you pay on Planet?
I think I paid about 13 for that in the end.
Okay,
Which it was about the going rate.
do you know the whole set, including his 4 little companions, are £3 each in game at the moment?
No,
They're on sale in game, £3 each.
no way. That's well cool.
So if you
Well,
want
we
me
don't
to
have
go,
a game anywhere near us, to be fair.
if you want me to go and pick up the rest of them while they're still on offer, mate, let me know.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
I love Fantasy Planet.
Anyway, welcome back to Movie Chat. I hope you all had a good Christmas and New Year. As you can tell, we've had bits of parcel delivered here. I say bits as the word bits because mine was kicked to shit. So apologies we weren't on last week. I think we just decided we were going to have a week off from doing the live and enjoy.
Where we weren't actually poorly.
As you can tell by my voice, we've been off work, and then Sunday it was Monday when we met up with Chris and Bell in Cheshire Oaks.
No doubt.
I decided I was coming down with the dreaded lurgy. I have been bad for a couple of days. Today it's the first day I've started to feel better. And unfortunately for me, Lana has decided she's catching it now as well.
I'm just waiting for your message off Chris to say he's got it now as well.
Yeah.
So
we're catching up with Chris on Saturday because Bell's working, so we're going out with Chris on Saturday. So we're going to take him around some of our shops, including James up at Starbase. So James, if you're watching, get that box of Funko Pops out because I think I've done you a deal. Yes, Junie. Lana has banned me from Whatnot. The fact that we had to do a special trip down to Chris and Bell's and filled her car up full of boxes and bubble wrap from Whatnot. So Chris has got enough packaging to get through
I
this
think we've
year.
got the same, to be fair.
Yeah. Not if you're both poorly. No, I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm getting better now. So yeah, it's wonders of drinking 18 bottles of water in a day, and I think I just flushed it out. Right, so first bit of news: season 2 of The Traitors. Are you watching it?
No, not yet. I was going to watch it last night, and I forget we watched something else instead. But I've recorded it.
We're just at the end of episode 2 where they've just.
Oh, okay. Is it more on BBC iPlayer? Is it?
Yeah. So the way that it looked to me that they were only going to do the one episode a week, but if you're watching it on demand, it looks like there's a couple of episodes. But yeah, it kicks straight in. It's got juicy already. It's definitely worth watching. You lying git, I didn't ban you from Whatnot. You're just out of control. Yes.
Out of control. How can he do a 1 in 1 out policy when he's getting 1 box a day?
However, have you heard something called Moon Girl?
No.
I don't know what I've done. However, in one of these boxes, it was one of these oversized.
Oh, is that an anime?
Yeah, but I've got an oversized red dragon, and I can't remember buying it. I don't know. I don't know what I've done there.
Oh, brilliant! I must admit, I had that the other week. I'd ordered some stuff, and it turned up, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And then I realised it was somebody had gifted it me. Bless them. They were like, "Yeah, give that one to Steve," and I'd completely forgot about it. Either that, or I'd won it. You know, like a giveaway. It did take me a second.
Maybe that's what's happened to me. Maybe someone's run it and just threw it in my box. I don't know. But yeah. So, babe, there's a present for you outside your office store. I'm not gonna buy anything from Chris tomorrow night unless he's got something really, really cool. However, we were down at Chris's, and he did.
Oh, did you end up going and having a look at his bits? Did you?
Not intentionally. Not
Don't
intentionally.
lie.
No, we went down.
Did you
For
just
tea.
open the door and go, it's that way, Steve? Go on, in you go.
We went down for tea, and it was afterwards. Chris said, "Well, come on then, let's go and have a look at the stock." And luckily enough for me, I did, because he had this hiding.
What's that?
Krista, Attack on Titan.
Oh, right, okay.
He had this hiding in his box of pops. Now,
£4, yeah?
he gifted it, right?
What?
So let's put it this way. Do you remember the headache I gave him when he listed that Destiny pop and never told me he had it?
Oh, yes, I believe you threw your toys out the pram. I remember
Yeah.
right.
Can you imagine what I would have done if this ended up on Whatnot and I had to bid for this?
I don't know.
I wouldn't have
You're
been
too soft,
happy.
Chris. You could have just charged him double the amount.
No, I think it was because I'm the best modder on Whatnot that he's ever seen, and the other one is useless until yesterday.
Well, Jeff was not useless. He did really well yesterday. I was like, right, I'm doing this now because you were
Yeah.
pissing me off.
Now you've worked it out. Maybe drunk. No, to be fair, Jeff, I'm inadvertently doing Dry January, and
What? Dry January?
yeah. Do you know what? Since I haven't drank for God knows how long, not properly anyway. So
Yeah.
I must be cutting down. It must be one of these New Year cold things where alcohol's off the table.
Oh, either that or you can no longer afford alcohol because you're spending it on Whatnot.
Yes, yes. There you go, babe.
Hey, Queenie. Hey, Junie.
Jeff was sober yesterday. Not that he drinks much. No.
Oh, Jeff was amazing the other night. I've come to the conclusion that the more he drinks, the slower his speech comes.
Why?
But he
Where
was
was Jeff
awesome.
on?
He was on Lindsay and Alvin's
Oh, was it for New
New
Year?
Year one. Yeah, bless him. He was really good. But yeah, he's awesome. I was hoping he was around in the last couple of Whatnots just to make sure he was still alive.
Just finished both seasons of Strange New Worlds. Very pleasantly surprised. I loved the opening sequence.
I'm happy drunk. Absolutely, you were, mate.
Phil, tell me, what did you think about the first 2 or 3 episodes of season 2? Because I thought they were quite slow. I thought Pike disappearing off to defend Una very early on, and then you don't see him for 2 episodes. And then I think the Una trial was very, very quick. It was just dealt with in 1 episode. That could have been dragged out over 5 or 6 episodes by itself. That.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I caught up with over Christmas. I finally put it on. Was the Umbrella Academy.
Oh, right. What season are you on?
I've done them all. I watched them all.
You've done them all? All 3?
Yeah.
What did you think?
If I remember rightly, season 2 was a bit of a struggle. The first one was really good, and then season 2 was a bit of a struggle, and I think season 3 was better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very interesting concept. And I was quite impressed that it was. Is it the writer or the creator is the guy out of My Chemical Romance or something?
Yeah. But did you see how they dealt with Elliot Page?
Oh yeah, no.
That was just a case of, oh, by the way, I'm now a bloke. Oh, okay, fine, let's move on. Done. They didn't drag that out whatsoever. They just sort of went, yeah, okay, and off they went.
No, but they made sure everybody accepted. It was pointing out the acceptance. Yeah. But the thing for me is, and this is a bit of a bugbear here, mate, but regardless of what they want to do in their personal life, they've signed up to a show as a character.
Yeah.
That character has had to change for no reason at all, other than her own personal preferences.
Other than the fact. But what I'm saying, though, there was no qualms about it. There was no.
Oh, no. But that's the point. I mean, that was as woke as you could possibly get.
Yeah, but it wasn't dragged out over 6, 7 episodes, and he never made any reference to it later on in the series. It was just the fact that
I don't. Okay. Whatever this person wants to do, is fine by me. But you're a character on a program. Unless there's a particular arc story for that for that to happen in the program, I don't understand why they would do it.
No.
Hey Luke, that was my point with that. I mean, there were some really good characters in it, you know, and I mean, I picked up the Funko Pop for Pogo the other day.
Luke, I don't think they're doing a season 4 of Umbrella Academy. That's it.
I think they are. No, I think they are.
Well, I thought it was the last one, season 3. I thought they weren't going to be doing any more because all that happened in a week.
No, I think it is. I think there is another series of it. I think the 4th series is the last series.
I don't know. Let me have a look.
But like I say, I mean that aside, just search it because I'm telling you, I'm sure I checked it because it doesn't finish. It doesn't finish, does it? But yeah, it was a really interesting program. But for some reason, I really struggled with the 2nd series and how that sort of played out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, season 4 is a bittersweet and sexy ending.
Yep.
Okay. Because they said that about season 3.
Yeah. Chris has said, "Don't bother with the new series Castaways with Sheridan Smith. It started it and stopped pretty quick." Luke says Netflix has confirmed that season 4 is releasing this year because it's the final season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff
they said
just
that about
apologized.
season 3 because they said that about season 3 because episode 1, season 1, and episode 12, season 3, I think it is. That all happens within a week.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it was like how many times can you save the world in a week?
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so we sort of binge watched that, which meant that we didn't watch a lot. We got through the Christmas movies that we wanted to watch, but everything else was just put on the back burner because we put that on. And then I watched. You're not going to be interested, but I watched season 8 of Inside Number 9 this week. I'm yet to find many people that actually watch that program, but I really enjoy it. It's the twists in it. Obviously, it's like the English version of Black Mirror.
Right.
But yeah, that was really good. What else we watched? I've got a few things to watch that I picked up over Christmas. I had a chance to show you, but I got the Blackadder box set.
You've not had a fucking chance to show me. Don't pull that crap.
Well, I haven't really spoke to you since, have I?
You can put it on a video.
Well, Lou got me the Blackadder box set in Blu-ray, so we watched a couple of those. That's all right. And then I picked up a few. Have you ever seen this film? This is one I picked up from one of the CXs, The King of Comedy.
No.
That's actually really good.
Who's it based on?
It's about a guy that dreams of being a famous talk show host. But the bit in Joker where he's a lot of that is in the bit where he's doing the host bit. That's a lot that's inspired by this movie. But if you ever get around to seeing it, it's 1982.
Well, I was watching AJ's top 10 most anticipated movies of the year.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with the comment that he made just before he started it, where he's just going to copy and paste his video into top 10 letdowns of 2024 at the end of the year, because he's mentioned in the Joker 2 that with
Lady
Gaga, and apparently it's supposed to be a bit more of a musical setting. So it's like, right, okay, so that's just ruined it for me. Transformers 1 is out later on.
I saw a post with that saying that was coming out.
Yeah, I'm not jumping on the bandwagon of slagging off the fact that they've got a whole new cast. Chris Hemsworth playing Prime, because I don't think he's going to be playing Prime. I think he's going to be playing Orion Pax.
Okay.
And because this is pre-war, isn't it? It's the build up to the war. So Megatron, Elite One, and people like that weren't there. So it's Ryan Pax and Megatron as the Gladiator. So I can understand them changing the voice actor because although it's going to be the first time in 35 years that he's not done Prime. Prime's not going to be that old and wise when he's Orion Pax. If you remember back to the G1 cartoon, when they shown this happening, he was a library clerk or something, if I remember correctly. He was like some sort of boring person before he got killed and then transformed into Prime. There we go.
Right, okay. So is this another one where are you getting hyped about it and then just going to get absolutely disappointed or what?
I am. I'm not. And I made up that
not letting yourself get excited.
Yeah, I made up we're getting a film on Cybertron. I made up we're getting the start of the war because that's what I've asked for since Bumblebee, and that's what I've asked for since Rise of the Fallen. But Bumblebee sort of gave me a glimpse of what we could have had, that opening sequence.
Yeah.
So for this to be a completely animated movie and not a live action movie, I'm disappointed in that respect. But I'm made up on getting the Cybertron for it. It'll be like going back to the 86 movie and, starting again. But I'm glad they're tying it into Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts because some of the references that I've seen and stuff like that are tied in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it's. I'm not getting overly hyped like I did with Rise of the Beast. If you remember, I started off really disappointed about Rise of the Beast because I'm not a big Beast Wars fan.
Yeah,
and
I remember.
I started watching the trailers, and then all of a sudden, I was hyped. It looked really, really good, and then it was a crock of shit at the end of the film.
Let's go through some of these. Then you've got January. You've got Night Swim. I think I've seen a trailer for that.
That's the one about the haunted swimming pool, isn't it?
Yes, and then you've got Argyle in February.
Yeah.
That Madame Web.
That looks good. That Madame Web.
The Dune sequel, in March.
Dune Part 2, yeah.
Kung Fu Panda 4.
It's a sequel I never knew I really didn't want.
Yeah. To be fair, the trailer looks like a Kung Fu Panda movie. That's probably the best way I can describe it. You've got the Ghostbusters new one in March.
What's that? Frost Empire or Empire of Frost or whatever it's called.
Oh, something like that.
That looks all right. That looks all right. And I'll be interested to see how much of a cameo the original Ghostbusters have.
Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire.
Again, am I getting a bit bored of these MonsterVerse movies?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Now, this one, I've seen the trailer for it, and it does look like a bit of a family movie, but that If...
That's the Ryan Reynolds one. Did you ever see the one with Jason Momoa where he's like where they go in the dreams?
No.
What was that called?
Next one I've got is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga in May. One I am looking forward to is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes. Now, I'm a big fan and a bit of advocate of the original, the original trilogy, the later Caesar trilogy, the Rise, War, and what was the other one called?
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes, Right. Rise of the Apes.
Dawn of the Planet
Dawn of the Apes, that's the one. Slumberland is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So that If looks like a bit of Slumberland and What Dreams May Come mixed with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
So that does look quite good.
Then you've got... Sorry, go on.
The Planet of the Apes, definitely worth watching. And I agree with what AJ was saying about War of Planet of the Apes, because that was the big letdown for the cinema release for those original trilogies, but it's probably one of the stronger films.
Yeah, yeah. One I've not seen anything about yet is Ballerina, a John Wick spin-off.
A John Wick spin-off, yeah. I think that's sort of going down the Black Widow, Red Sparrow type of scenario where the ballerinas serial killers.
Okay. The Bad Boys 4.
Giving that one a miss.
I'm going to look forward to that one. Inside Out 2. That's another one that's pretty good.
Probably give that a miss.
Have you watched any of The Quiet Place yet? You got A Quiet Place Day 1.
Which is technically Quiet Place 3, isn't it? But this is
Yeah.
the prequel about them landing whatever the monsters are. They're coming out, aren't they?
Summer
Frozen
movie.
Empire. Thank you, Luke.
Summer movie. Despicable Me 4.
Again, I'm not really a big fan of the Minion movies anymore.
Let's get this one. Twisters.
Okay, the monkey might have another set of films to collect.
On the 19th of July. Then we've got the Deadpool sequel,
which is technically a Marvel release, isn't it? The MCU release.
Ooh. Yep. Borderlands on the 9th of August. Is that based on the game?
I was going to ask you the same question there because there was a series.
By the font of it, it looks like it's the same.
Because there was a series, wasn't there, that was supposed to be coming out, but then I think you've put it as a film now.
Alien Romulus.
That looks really, really good. From the set photos that I've seen, that looks really, really good.
Are we going down the same vein as the last as Prey though? Or
it's in the middle.
Predator style.
It's in the middle of Alien and Aliens.
Okay.
So it's in that time period. So it's like sort of like a prequel sequel.
Okay. Craven, the Hunter.
Yeah,
on the 30th of August.
That's Sony, isn't it? That's the Amazing Spider-Man era, Venom.
I think this one's going to be good, and I'm really hoping they don't butcher it. Is Beetlejuice 2?
Yeah, that's one I am looking forward to.
Then you say you've got September. You've got Transformers 1, Joker, Folly a Dukes.
Folly a Duke. Yeah, Folly a Duke.
Folly a Dukes. Venom 3 in November.
Well,
I like the movies.
That'll be tying into the end of Craven then.
Yeah, probably.
So I'll put money on it now that your out scene for Craven will be tying into Venom somewhere.
Oh, 100%. Oh, you can see it a mile off, can't you?
Yeah. And then it'll be the Craven will be chasing the little bit of Venom that was left over after No Way Out.
The next one is a bit of it could go either way. Is Gladiator 2 on the November?
I'm not looking forward to that at all. If you're going to give me another Gladiator movie, brilliant, right? But don't tie it into the original Gladiator where you've killed 3/4 of the cast. Because who's it going to be based off? It's not going to be based off Commodus, because Commodus is dead. It's not going to be based off Maximus, because Maximus is dead. Is it Lucius, the son?
Yeah, possibly.
Because that's the only character that's going to be around is going to be Lucius. Because they've made Rome a Senate now, haven't they? It was like it was a republic until it was handed back to somebody. So it can only be Lucius if it's tying into the original Gladiator movie. And if it's not going to tie into the original Gladiator movie, don't put Gladiator 2 on it. Give me something else.
So December's a bit interesting. I've got a feeling it's a Lord of the Rings film.
Okay.
The War of the Rohirrim. Is it Hiram?
The War of the Rohan.
Maybe. It does. I could be wrong, but the font on it, because the picture's terrible, the font on it looks like it's a Lord of the Rings, but I could be wrong. December again. The Karate Kid. Do we need another one?
Rebooting the film franchise?
What, after, I mean, the last one that butchered it?
The Jaden Smith.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan, yeah.
Sonic 3 in December.
Okay, that could be okay.
And this one really got me off guard. I saw something about this the other night. The Lion King, Mufasa,
Is
as
it
a
how
live action.
new Mufasa become king?
It says Mufasa, the Lion King. Like, so this is a sequel that I don't think anybody ever asked for.
Well,
As
it
far
must
as
be
I'm
like
aware,
it must be like Simba's Pride then, where what happened when Simba became king. It must be when Mufasa was king or becoming king.
was it James Earl Jones who did the voice?
Yeah.
He's not doing that.
No, well, if it's a younger one, they probably won't. This is what I was saying before about Hemsworth playing Orion Pax instead of Prime. If it's a younger Mufasa, they'll bring in somebody else to do the voice.
Yeah.
It'll be that. What's his name? Danny Glover or the younger, not Danny Glover, the younger Glover.
Danny Glover.
Yeah. Who's the younger Glover knocking about these days?
I don't know. Let me just check this Lord of the Rings. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it will be. If it's the Rohan, it's Lord of the Rings. They're the riders from the second film, Steve.
Yeah, it is Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
The War of the Rohan. I can't even pronounce it.
Junie's put here the beekeeper. Now, to me,
Yeah, well, it's Jason Statham, isn't it?
That does not look like a standard Jason Statham film. From anything from the transporter through to the mechanic through to the extendable. Are you getting bored of seeing Jason Statham do the same movie, just named differently these
But
days?
it's the same again, and it's one of those where these actors all play the same role. It's Jason Statham playing Jason Statham.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind. To be fair, I don't mind him as an actor, and I don't mind his roles because I know what I'm getting into with a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's very rare I've put on one of his movies and been caught out with anything other than him being him.
Yeah.
There we go.
Didn't everyone die in Gladiator 1? Yes. Well, no. There was two main characters that survived, wasn't there? There was Lucius's mum, who was sleeping around with everybody, and then there was Lucius, right? Who's the son, the younger one that Commodus was sort of taking over because his mum was a slut.
Sleeping about.
Yeah, because his mum was a slut. He took Lucius off them, didn't she? Right. So they're the two. Now, if you're not going to link it to anything to do with them, it could just be any generic Roman gladiator movie. You don't need to tie it into anything, in my opinion. Plot for Mufasa that Simba's having to become king of the Pride Lands. Is determined his club is to follow his paw. Now, you can't call it Mufasa. You might as well just call it something else because Mufasa to me would be Mufasa is becoming king. His dad is dying or whatever, and it's how he got the pride to be the place where everyone is. You know, look, son, I'm overlooking me thing, but you don't go in the shadow area. How we got all that to be nice and bright. That'll be the film I would want to see. The fact that Simba's boned bloody Nala and had a kid, and now they're telling him about his bloody dad. I don't know. It's just yeah. I don't know.
I tell you, it's just reminding me. Then I'm just sat here and I'm just looking at my Blu-rays, and I've just realised. I think it was New Year's Day. We were struggling to find anything to watch, and we put on Sharknado 5. Right now, I've only ever seen the first and second. We've got them all downloaded, but the first and second I've got on Blu-ray. And I was like, "Go on, then we'll put one on." It was like the swarming, it's the sharking or something, and our global swarming, I think it was called, something like that. It was bad. It was so bad. We ended up then putting on number 3. It was like they're only like an hour and a half long, but my God, hey Lin, my God, those movies, they know exactly what they are, and they know as cheesy as they are. But it's like Scary Movie. There's that many different cameos in them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the one we watched had Katie Price in it for about 5 seconds.
I think Sharknado was the only films that Tara Reid could actually star in, wasn't it? Didn't she end up producing the last 3 of them so she could have a job?
Pretty much, yeah. I think the main actor produced one of the last ones, but
Yeah, that's what I mean, Tara Reid.
no, the actor get the guy in it.
Oh, right, okay.
He directed the last, well, at least the last one or two. But oh my god, they're so bad. I mean, I think the third one we was watching had Jedward in. Like, oh my good god! But you're looking at him going, what's going on here? The prime minister, I forget what his name was now, but the prime minister loses a leg and then carries on. They have an MI5 sort of setup where they go and see like all the gadgets and stuff that they need to fight these sharks. But they're just such bad movies, so bad. But they're so bad you just have to watch them in disbelief.
See, Jeff's there saying struggling to find someone to watch him with all
Yeah.
the thousands of Blu-ray. Now, do you know what the problem is, Jeff? Do you know, because and this is why I got rid of all mine the other week.
Oh, you're 20. Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, I got 130 odd quid for them, Steve. I did bloody well.
Yeah, you did.
However, I did keep a small collection of my TV ones down at the bottom there.
Well, I am glad.
But because you've got so many and you've got so many good films that you like to watch, it's hard to pick one to say, do you know what, I'm going to give that one a go. Because I put on the other day Forbidden Planet, and I loved that film, and I only got halfway through it. And I thought,
Really?
you know what, I can't watch this. I did the same with Minority Report. I haven't seen that for years, and I put that on, and I got halfway through, and I struggle to watch a full film these days. So I just went, you know what? I'm not gonna have any Blu-rays. I'm gonna get rid of them all, and then if the film comes on, I'm gonna be forced to watch it because I can't say, well, I'm gonna turn it off and come back to it, or if I stream it, that's what's gonna happen. So yeah, I do fully understand your point. It'll be like you with all your toys, at Christmas. You're gonna get sick of playing with the same Action Man for God knows how long. But it's I can understand it that you don't reach for anything on your shelf, do you?
No, because you're looking at it going, well, I can watch that anytime, really. I mean, like I said to you, I got there's a couple down here actually. I mean, I got Tolkien from a charity shop for like £1 or something, and that looks like a good movie, but I've not had a chance to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Expendables 4 to watch, which is probably terrible. I picked up Jaws 2, 3, and 4, which we've seen them. The Nun 2, my mum bought me. But it's just I've not had a chance over Christmas to sort of go right. I want to put. Oh, I've had chance, but I've chose to watch other things.
I love how that Jaws box set is set up as the ultimate Jaws collection, and it starts off at number 2.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the thing is, I've got number 1, I think, on 4K, so it's not too tragic. But I noticed it, and I was like, oh, I'll have to pick that up. But there is. I picked up Training Day on 4K. I've not had a chance to watch that yet. There's a couple of the 4Ks I picked up over Christmas. Sicario I got for £1 from a charity shop in 4K. That's a good movie.
See, Luke's put there that there's 2 villains in Godzilla Kong, the New Empire. Shamu, which is Godzilla's foe, and a big red ape, which Kong fights. Now, I'm assuming Kong is still in the underworld, or whatever it was called. And Godzilla never went down to follow him, did he? He stayed on in our world. So I'm assuming Kong's released something from the underworld and it's escaped through, and that's what Godzilla's going to end up fighting. And then the big red ape is in the underground where Kong is. And then at the end, they're going to both team up and they're going to win. And you go, yay! And then we're set up for another MonsterVerse movie.
I think Lynn said she watched Belfast over Christmas. I've been meaning to watch that. My mum and dad went to see it.
It was quite slow, very slow, but it was quite good. I thought that was all right. Well, yeah. Pete's in, Evening Pete. I know Steve's already said hello. Yeah, right. I'm going to put the link in the chat, see if anyone wants to come on.
Okay.
But Yeah, to me, the Godzilla. See, I watched the 24. Was it 2014? The new Godzilla,
Oh God, maybe.
the one with the dad from Malcolm in the Middle in.
Dad from Malcolm in the Middle. It
I
might
watched
be.
that one. I
Do you
really
know what?
enjoyed
I'll be
that.
honest with you. I'm losing track of the Godzilla and thingy
I, I
movies.
I enjoy Skull Island, which is Kong. I
Yeah.
enjoyed Godzilla. I even enjoyed King of the Monsters. I thought that was quite good. The thing I can't get into at the moment is the Monarch series on Amazon. I've been
Yeah.
trying to stream that. I'm 3 episodes into that, and it's given me Beverly Hills 90210 7900B, whatever series that was called. 90210, wasn't it? Vibes.
You would know.
I'm half expecting the half brother and sister from Monarch to start sleeping with each other, and then the next monster Godzilla fights will be the inbred monster from those. That's where I see it going. So I'm gonna have to end that series in about 3 episodes in. 'Cause it's just really, really slow.
Yeah.
So if anyone's watched Monarch, then please tell me if I'm wrong. If it does get better, and I'll carry on watching it. If not, I'm calling it a day there. But there hasn't been. I watched that Rebel Moon.
Oh yeah, I've not watched that yet.
Do you know what? The first 5-10 minutes, I thought, okay, I could get into this. It was giving me like Firefly vibes.
Yeah.
Do you know where you see a spaceship, but then they're all like cowboys,
Yeah.
and it's that type of sort of setup. And I was like, do you know what? I could really get into this, and I was really looking forward to it. But then, yeah, it just gets weirder and weirder, and it's like a poor man's Star Wars meets Firefly, and it just doesn't work. The story goes off on a bit of a tangent,
Well,
and
it's a part one, isn't it? There's another one.
yeah, but then the next day when it's released, Netflix goes, "Don't worry about it. We're going to release the director's cut when we've released part two." So Netflix must have realized it was crap, and then we've already got a director's cut. Just why not just release the director's cut?
Yeah.
Because you're on a streaming service, so you're not going to get any extra cinema revenue. It's not going to be like when the Snyderverse version of Batman, Superman, or Justice League ended up in the cinema and he got extra revenue. It's not going to happen for Netflix. So why not just release the best version of the film straight away?
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be an hour longer, but
Yeah.
it's
I'll
put
tell
me
you what.
in part two.
Talking about Netflix, I was watching Gogglebox the other night, and I didn't realize, but it seems like they're starting to review things that are on Netflix as well. You know, like when they could thingies are watching them,
Yeah.
and they had that the Squid Games challenge, and they
The
were
challenge.
going on about it, and I was like, "There's no way they're gonna do this." I mean, that thing's only been out about a month, if that, less than a month.
Mm.
They actually on that Gogglebox, they actually shown who bloody won it.
Did they?
Yeah, I was like, Jesus. You know, for people that maybe have wanting to watch it and sort of, no, you wouldn't expect it, especially on a
Well,
Netflix thing.
I suppose for people like me that have watched it, as soon as that final hit, I watched it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, we were about a day behind, but the
Yeah.
point is that obviously with Netflix, it's their money making, isn't it? Is having these things that people want to watch. If you can, if Gogglebox is on and it tells you who's bloody won it, it just ruins the whole thing.
Well, that's what people accuse me of.
Well, yeah, I did think of you at the time when I saw it. I was like, this is a Steve thing to do.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Literally, you know, within a couple of weeks, they've shown who's bloody won it. But yeah, so
Well,
what is there anything new that you got round to watching then at Christmas? Anything else
nothing,
new?
nothing new, no. No. New to me, I've watched No, I haven't. Do you know what? I've even started watching the Attack on Titans again now. I am now on the final season part one, disc 3. So it took me 2 days to get through 4 seasons of Attack on Titan.
How many series is there?
There's 4 series, but the final season's over 3 parts. So I'm waiting for final season part 3 to be released on Blu-ray. It's aired in Japan at the end of November, and it's aired in the States the start of December. So I've avoided all spoilers. I've avoided all storylines, but they haven't given us a date for the physical release yet. So it's probably going to be the end of this year, I reckon, that we'll get the physical release over here.
Yeah.
But there's only one way that this can finish for me, and that's Mikasa killing Eren. It's got to happen.
Mm.
That's the only way Attack on Titan finishes for me. And then it turns out that one of them's had a baby or something, and it's carried on a Titan gene. That's the only way it's going to finish for me.
Right, so let's try and catch up a little bit here. Hey Pat, I'm sorry I've not said hello on Pat to Pat. Judy says I've been on 5 Lives in. Oh right, yeah. Queenie says anyone watched? Is it Saltburn?
No.
Oh, I've not heard of that one yet.
What's the new Michelle Keegan series? Is it Fool Me Once?
Oh yeah, is that out Monday or is it already out now?
It's out now, I think, isn't it?
It was from Monday then, I think.
That looks quite good. I need to give that a go.
Yeah, I said I'd watch it because of Michelle Keegan, to be honest. You guys ever watched Red Letter Media movie reviews? No, I haven't. I'll have to have a look at that one.
Yeah, I'm in episode 2 of Reacher. I've gone to episode 2 so far, season 2.
Yeah, I think the whole world's waiting for a trailer from Deadpool 3. To be fair,
I think what's your views on Reacher, Judy? Because I'm at the point with Reacher where I'm disappointed they haven't brought anyone back from season 1.
okay.
Or at least mention them. I know I'm only in episode 2, but that might happen.
No, chance yet, Junie. Haven't seen that one yet, Queenie. Have you? Oh, thanks, Lynn. Just having a chit chat. Seen it advertised, but not seen it yet. Night's Life recommended it. Yeah, Junie. Don't bother with it. It's been hyped, but it was poo-poo. Poo-poo.
Which one's that? What are you talking about there? Reacher season 2?
Whatever it was poo-poo.
Yeah.
I think she might have been talking about that Saltburn.
All right.
I think it's got same me, to be honest.
Hey,
buddy. Happy New Year, mate.
Hey. Happy New Year to you too, guys. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, we're getting there, mate. How have you been? Have you been watching so much over Christmas?
Not a lot over Christmas. Mostly just been playing video games, but I did catch up with a couple of films that I missed over the year.
Oh, yeah?
Picked up a few more 4Ks. Picked up Oppenheimer and rewatched that. Really looks nice on 4K, it does.
Yeah, I picked it up, but I've not had a chance to watch it yet.
So speaking of 4K releases, what's your view, Peter, on the UK not getting a physical copy of The Abyss?
Isn't it something to do with a certain scene why we're not getting it?
Yeah, but
do you know where they drowned? Do you know where they put the rat in the breathing liquid?
I've never actually seen the film, but I've heard it's something to do with an animal.
Okay,
yeah.
So with the Marines going underwater, right? They bring all their tech down, and you've got like a deep dive and long time rig, and they pump a special liquid through the rig, and it allows you to breathe underwater for longer periods of time. to demonstrate it, what they do is that they grab the rat, who's one of the miner's pets, and they drown it in the liquid, and it struggles for a bit, and then it breathes. For some reason, the British film people that do all the certifications have now decided that's the scene that they're going to stop the British.
But how true is this? Because it's at the end of the day, if all they have to do is take that scene out, it's worth so much money to them in the UK to release that movie. That surely
no. You can't take that film out though, because to me that's a pivotal film. That's a pivotal scene because they're explaining why he can last so long underwater for the last 20 minutes of the film.
So all it means is just the Brits will end up having to order it from America. It's a 4K movie. It's
region 3 anyway, so we'll just import a copy of it over.
100%,
over here. So they're not going to lose any money by not producing it over here, but we're still going to get it. But to me, they can't take that scene out of the film because it's a pivotal scene.
But James Cameron wouldn't allow it.
Yeah. It's like having a Terminator movie and taking Schwarzenegger out being naked when he gets sent back in time. You don't know what's going to happen for the remainder, or you don't know how he's got there for the remainder of the film. You don't understand how he's breathing the way he's breathing for the next 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why they just don't make it an 18 plus and put a warning on the back of it, of the Blu-ray, and just say may contain this scene that may upset some people, because they released Cannibal Holocaust unedited over here, and that's got real animal cruelty in it. So I don't understand that.
But you've released films over here like Event Horizon, that's just pure violence towards the end of that film when everyone's getting taken over by the demons, and there's other examples of worse films, but for that one scene about the rat, it's not a good position, I don't think, to be in.
It's a very odd decision.
Yeah. So what other 4Ks or what other films did you catch up with? Oppenheimer, that's still on my list to watch. I haven't got around to watching that yet.
Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think it's a great film. I think it's one of the best of the year, and it feels like one of those two-part films that feels like a full film. The Spider-Man one just felt like half a film. That's why I liked it, but didn't love it like other people.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's. I mean, you definitely knew there was obviously a part 2 coming up, but and I think the thing is for me is that the Mission Impossibles have got better and better, every one of them. I think it's like the reverse of what usually happens. It's usually your first one's the best, and then it just goes downhill from there. But I think he just ups the game every time.
I think the thing with the Mission Impossibles though is that because they've not classed him as, although he is the goodie, but he's also been a fugitive in the last couple because he's been wanted, he's been chased. Yeah. So it's you sort of, am I still doing the good thing, but I'm wanted for doing the good thing, and I think that's what Civil War sort of did quite well with Captain America and Iron Man sort of fight.
Yeah,
you were rooting for both parts in that film.
Yeah, and I get it.
I think the Mission Impossible have done that quite well with the last couple. When you're saying that you're surprised, is it slow? It's going to be slow because it's got part 1 in the title.
Yeah. Mission Impossible for a 3-hour film kind of flew past quite quickly, but Spider-Verse dragged a bit. And whilst it finally got going, it was like, oh, wow, this is going to happen in part 2.
Do you know what? Into the Spideyverse, wasn't it?
Yeah, the new one. Which one is it? Enter into
Across? Is it Across?
Spideyverse. Yeah, I think it was Cross.
Yeah.
I must have put that on for about half an hour, and I couldn't get into it. The first one I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
the second one I was struggling to watch. I was like, yeah, now's not the time to try and watch this.
And a lot of people say it's their film of the year. I definitely wish I could enjoy it as much as them, but for me, I feel like it ain't going to be better until this new one comes out, whenever it comes out.
so you can finish the story and you know what's actually going on. Do you think we're at risk with obviously Dune Part 1? That's always been advertised as that. The Day Reckoning Part 1, Spider-Verse Part 1. I understand now that we're past the trilogies. You know, everything's got to be a trilogy. We've now moved past that. So everything is now being 6, 7, 8 parts in Fast and the Furious world. And we're on, 11? And we've been told we're going to get a 12. So with these films being Part 1, do you think that we're at risk of the pacing of these films sort of putting us off actually sitting there and watching them for 3 hours, knowing the fact that we're going to get another 3 hours and possible another 6 hours worth of content to finish the story?
Yeah, I think. Oh, sorry.
No, go on, mate. Go on, carry on. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, like, the Part 1 definitely puts off a lot of people, I think, when they see that in the title. I think Harry Potter introduced it, and a lot of other films tried it, but not to the same effect. Very much like the Hunger Games, the last two of them.
Yeah. Well, I quite like the way that the Hunger Games did it with
Mockingjay, was it?
Yeah.
It was the Mockingjay, Mockingjay Part 1, Part 2, where because the pacing of that didn't slow down, but there was so much of that book that they needed to get the backstories of the people that have been captured, and then obviously the torture of Peter and stuff like that. I think they did that quite well. The Dune Part 1, I think they focused on a lot of characters that they killed off in that first attack where they didn't have to. The original movie didn't do it. I know the books did it, but you're only about just over halfway of the book by the time of the end of the first film.
Yeah.
So you know coming up in Part 2, you know there's just not going to be any major shockers. But I don't think building up so much of like Josh Brolin's character, we didn't need to know who he. You knew for fans of the book, you knew who he was. You didn't need to know how he got to where he got before he got killed off in that first attack. Jason Momoa's characters, they're exactly the same. You know, you knew who these people were, and you knew that they were the guard of the father, and then off you went.
Yeah.
So they took a different approach in my eyes for that one. Harry Potter, I don't know. I haven't read all the books, so definitely Hallows, I believe.
Definitely Hallows, yeah.
Was Part 1, Part 2. So I don't know if that book's a particularly big book that they needed to split into 2 films. I don't know.
Actually, yeah, the biggest book was the shortest film, I think.
Yeah. Azkaban, is that?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
So, no, I don't know. Other than that, anything else, mate?
John Wick Chapter 4, watch that again. That is such a great time. That is, again, another 3-hour film that completely flies by.
Yeah. I think that's why I haven't got around to it yet. I mean, I've got it here, but it's that 3 hours that's putting me off at the minute, because I just need to try and find 3 hours where I can just sit down and enjoy it, really.
But I said that to you about Snyder's Justice League, and you sent me a copy of the film, so I had no excuse but to watch it. So,
that was 4 hours, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I think when people are saying that you're struggling to find 3 hours to watch a film, but yet you sit there and you can just binge watch a whole season of The Umbrella Academy, Steve.
I thought for a second you were going to say what not.
Well, yeah, what not is another thing, and I don't think I really want to introduce Peter to Whatnot, because that bare wall behind him will look like ours by the end of the week.
That was what I watched over Christmas, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that's great. I had a good time with that one.
Yeah, I did as well. It's definitely a return to form.
I think it may be one of the best horror films of last year. For me, films like Talk to Me, a lot of people were talking about that, saying how that was brilliant.
Yeah.
I didn't get the hype for that one little bit.
What did we watch the other day? Cobweb. Good. That was the other one, wasn't it? It was Talk to Me and Cobweb, and they were both coming out in the cinema. That Talk to Me threw me because it come out the cinema and was straight on Netflix. And I was like, Yeah, and that really confused me. But apparently, it was released in the States a few months earlier than it was released over here, so it was like a delayed release.
All right.
Cobweb, there was the two teen horror films out at the same time. Cobweb wasn't brilliant, to be fair. I'm not really a big horror fan. I hate jump scares. I'm a big girl when it comes to jump scares. Almost as big girl as little Steve buying the Bambi t-shirt yesterday and whatnot.
So that's one I haven't got round to either.
Oh, that is a true delight. I think that's better than Spider-Verse. I really enjoyed that. That was a big surprise.
Was that the Turtles Mayhem one?
Yeah. I picked it up and I was like, I will watch this, but I've not got around to it.
Do you know what you were saying before about turning on Spider-Verse and saying you can't get into it? I did that with that one. I think the animation was just completely wrong for me, and I just couldn't.
The animation I got used to on the first one for Spider-Verse. I got into that quite quickly, and I was like, yeah, actually, this looks really good. And then that just for some reason, I put that second one on, and I got about 20 minutes in, and I was like, I'm not concentrating on this at all. I'll have to watch it another time because it's just I enjoyed the first one that much that I didn't want to just have it on in the background.
Yeah, without sounding funny though, that first Spider-Verse movie, it looks so good. It looks so compared to what we know, what we got in the way of animated movies. It was dead bright. It was dead. I'm going to throw the word out there. It looks sexy compared to other animated movies that we got at that particular point.
Different.
Yeah, different. It wasn't all 3D rendering and trying to make it look realistic. It was an animated movie, and this is what you get.
Yeah,
and it looks so different. It looks so fresh, but I couldn't get into the Turtles Mayhem one. I considering what we got with Spider-Verse, I think the animation looked a bit too kiddie-ish. It looked like
the animation for Turtles did take a while for me to get round to, but it won me over in the end. I thought it was a bit sort of, I don't know, there's a bit imperfect compared to Spider-Verse.
It's like I've let me 11-year-old loose with me mouse and CAD.
Yeah.
Go and draw me a turtle. There you go. Yeah. The Luke's got a question here for you, Pete. Are you looking forward to Deadpool 3 and Echo? Now, Echo's the Marvel series, isn't it? Are you looking forward to Echo?
That's coming out next week, isn't it? I think the whole series is dropping as well.
Yeah.
I must admit, last year with Marvel, there's been a lot of misses with Marvel, but the trailers do look good, and I might give it a go, see what the first couple of episodes are like. And Deadpool 3, yeah, definitely cannot wait for that one. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, a real crowd pleaser, I think.
Well, we were talking the other week, weren't we, Steve, about Ryan Reynolds throwing out fake set photos of him standing next to Predator and Steamboat Willie and all that lot, and it was just like, the reason why we throw these out is because he wants to see how quick his Hollywood friends will get the rumor back to him about him being on set next to Predator and stuff like that. And it just happened to be that they had the suit out ready to start filming for Prey 2. So it's like, there you go. Yeah, it was just that type of thing. It was, I am looking forward to it. I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping it's as good because we've wanted a Deadpool Wolverine movie since Origins, really, and that never happened the way it should have happened for me. He's
been pushing it, hasn't he? He's been pushing it since day dot. So
yeah.
But it'd be interesting. I want to make sure that when we're having these movies, that it isn't at a point where the comedy's changed, the social comedy's changed. You know what I mean?
I think this will be the last one. With it now linking into the MCU, and with For Love and Thunder fallen on its face the way that did with the social comedy aspect of it.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the last time we see the Merc with the mouth unleashed the way he's been over the two films. I think we'll get the odd quirky one-liner from here and there, but it won't just be like Deadpool 1 where there's just like hidden meanings behind 3/4 of the text or the script. It's not going to be like that going forward, I don't think.
Well, you know what I mean, though, don't you? I mean, I don't want I don't want him to leave it so long that the social acceptance has changed.
No, but do you know, like in Shrek now, where you probably wouldn't be allowed to put so many adult jokes in Shrek that there was back then.
Yeah.
I think we've now got to that point in Deadpool with Deadpool 3 that we've got to the Shrek point now.
Yeah.
Acceptable for this last film, but you're going to be mainstream MCU from here on in, so you're now tied into what kids are going to be watching, so you're not going to be able to to do that as much.
Yeah, probably, especially with Disney, but they seem to be in such a big trouble. If it does well in the box office, hits over $1 billion, they probably might keep to that sort of humor, so they don't upset the fans, because they know a lot of fans are really upset now.
I was going to say that they're not short of doing that, are they?
But if you look at Thor: Love and Thunder, you know, after Guardians and Deadpool, you know, they went back and rewrote parts of Thor Ragnarok to make it a bit more comical. And then Love and Thunder took it too far. It was too comical without any substance to do with making it a great film. And I think Deadpool's sort of on that boundary where you're still enjoying it.
Yeah.
Still got you're going to see you're going to see a comedy action film. Comedy action superhero movie, but it's going to be mainstream, so they're dragging it into that mainstream sort of universe now. They're going to be introducing the X-Men and things like that into the next phase of the MCU, and they're using Deadpool as that mechanic to do so. Then you're going to lose all that freedom that you've got with that, because it's not tied into anything else. And if you have a Deadpool movie in the MCU with the comedy of Deadpool 1, it will stand out like Love and Thunder did against everything else in that phase.
I just think that if you are saying it, obviously you think it's the last one. I just really hope they sort of go out with a bang. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this is what this is. I think this is the last hurrah for the Merc with the mouth.
Yeah.
You know. And if it and don't forget, Deadpool's got a lot of ties to Spider-Man as well. So you're gonna have Ryan Reynolds next to Tom Holland soon. You know, and that's what I'm sort of looking forward to. Is depending on which comics you read and which cartoons you read, Deadpool and Spider-Man used to bounce off each other quite regularly. Because Deadpool was, whatever you can do, I can do better because I'm not going to die. So off we went.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that, and you might get a bit more of that. Now, don't forget, Tom Holland's getting older after No Way Home. He's learning his feet again, or he's got to learn his trade again, hasn't he, and everything else, and that opens avenues for him to go and do silly stuff. You know.
Any of you guys seen this yet?
Yeah.
That sounded on me. I've not watched it yet. That sounds sounds like you really enjoyed it.
What's your trading price, Steve?
Is that bad?
It's supposed to be the send off for his character, and I don't think they should have made the film.
I think Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was a better send off for him, to be honest. Yeah.
I've seen reviews where people have rated it higher than that, but obviously nowhere near the originals.
I get the impression they're trying to rewrite Shia LaBeouf's character out, because he was be taking the mantle and running.
Yeah.
But that's not happened. So how do we bring him back? I know we'll do this. And yeah, there's just so much wrong with the film.
It's rather depressing what they've done to his character, I found.
Oh, fair enough. I'm glad I got it now.
Yeah. You can put it on the shelf next year. 80 copies of Dirty Dancing, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'll fit in quite nicely. Yeah. So, I was literally going to say something. Then. Where do we? How long do you think it'll be now before we get a new Bond?
Next year, they'll start
Really?
filming. They'll start filming next year.
We don't even know who the new Bond is yet. I thought we would do. They delayed No Time to Die 2 years. I thought they'd be getting the next Bond ready.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's just been so long.
Well, would you have started? Would you have started the search for No Way to Die after the last Bond got delayed? Would you start the search for the new Bond? Because that sort of then hints the fact that Bond dies.
No, not necessarily. I mean, the thing is that it could have been another character, another actor that played him.
They change Bonds up all the time, don't they? And this was the first one where they killed him off.
But this is what I'm saying though. Is this then going?
It was all a dream. That's what I'm going with. It was a dream sequence.
No, but is this where we go down that fan fiction that James Bond's not his actual real name? That's the agent name, and 007 is the number.
James Bond ain't his real name. He's Bob from Croydon.
Yeah. Daniel Craig was really John Smith, who lives in Darlington. Yeah, you know. But Bond, James Bond, just 9 to 5, Monday to Friday.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, is that then going down that realms where you sort of breaking the fabric of the character a little bit?
I think with the Daniel Craig stuff, it was its own thing. It's quite separated from all the other Bond films, and I think they did achieve like his own arc perfectly. I think the next Bond is going to be hard, whatever they do, because there's been talks whether they're going to set it in the 60s, which would be quite an interesting take. I do think the Bond series needs a little bit of a rejuvenation because it's getting a little bit stale. But it'll be interesting to see who they get as Bond.
I think bringing it into modern day helped Daniel Craig, but sort of broke it for me when the opening sequence of Casino Royale, where he headbutts someone. When was the last time you see Bond headbutt anyone?
Yeah, it tries to be too much like the Bourne films. It did.
Yeah, so it that sort of helped us with the and it sort of helped Daniel Craig become the modern day sort of action hero in a sense. Yeah, because before that he didn't really do many films. He sort of dabbled, but then this sort of put him into that arena.
Yeah.
Taking him back to the 60s though, giving us that sort of Roger Moore, Sean Connery sort of feel again. That probably work. What if James Bond turns out to be Jason Bourne? Oh, that's a good twist, Jeff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I quite like the fan theory that Sean Connery's character in The Rock was James Bond. He got locked up, but that goes back then to me theory that Bond is the code name and not 007. You know, that was a quite interesting one.
Yeah.
So,
something else I picked up over Christmas was it was released a couple of weeks back, I think, was that RoboDoc. So the documentary of RoboCop. I say documentary, it's a 4-part documentary, I think. But I'm like 2 into it at the minute. It must be like an hour long each. These four parts. but it's really, really good, really interesting. A lot of behind the scenes stuff from the movie and why they did things a certain way. For me, that's one of the most iconic movies for me growing up. Yeah, I remember sort of going around a friend's house and his dad had it on and we watched it and we must have been really young at the time.
Then you went out and bathed in acid and got hit by a car.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But as soon as I saw it had come out and I was like, it was like 15 quid on Amazon, I was like, I'm picking that up on Blu-ray. I've enjoyed the first two because I think one of them goes on about the villains, one of them goes on about the sort of main character in it. But it's by I think it's by the people that made the documentary about making it, and that sort of thing. So it was definitely worth a watch. If anybody gets a chance to pick it up, I'd definitely pick it up, especially if you're a fan of the movie.
That's good.
But it's good to. I mean, I'd like to have seen all of these extras on a 4K transfer of RoboCop or something. But you know,
that was the whole reason 4K and Blu-ray and stuff like that was meant to be coming out, wasn't it? Bigger discs, hold more content.
Oh yeah.
It released the bits that we haven't seen yet. But like you say, when I picked up what did I pick up? It was a Blu-ray of a film that I wanted to watch, and it had no extras at all. It was just a film.
Yeah.
I tell you what I picked up last year, The Firm, the Tom Cruise film on 4K.
Oh yeah.
No special features whatsoever, just the 4K disc, no Blu-ray, 20 quid. I thought, whilst I liked the film, it was a bit of a disappointing package for being no special features, not even a Blu-ray.
I think we run into a danger here of unless you're spending 40 quid on a special edition set, you're not going to get anything.
I don't know, Steve. I've seen Lee was sharing the Picard box set the other day or the other week, wasn't he? In the messenger group, and I'm looking at what he got in that box set, and I wasn't overly impressed for the money he spent.
No.
And there's been a few of those special features box sets, the big box sets that have come with. I know you're a firm believer in collecting business cards and posters, but it's you're not getting much in for your 80 quid for this special box set, apart from a couple of movie postcards and a poster.
Postcards, I think, is probably the best description for them.
Yeah.
A majority of stuff now is just paper goods. I do like the Arrow box sets, about 30 quid, so £5 more than a standard 4K. You get your book, poster, art cards, 30 quid, not too bad. Some of the ones like going up to 70, 80 quid, you don't get a lot in them. There are some nice stuff there, and if you're a fan of the film and it's one of your favourite films, definitely. But for me, I'm probably more happier just getting the standard 4K if it's a film I really like.
Yeah.
So last year, Steve and I were talking, and I asked him a question about if Disney Plus did a membership where you signed up, you spend 20 quid a month or 40 quid a month, you got the Avengers, the latest Avengers or the latest Marvel or whatever film, when it was released on 4K, you got a copy of that film with a special collector's sleeve, a figure of the main character or something to do with the main character, like the Captain America's shield or something like that, and something else which was exclusive to Disney at that particular point, and it was a limited run. Would you sign up for that? Is that something where physical media or publishers should go down that route instead of saying we're only going to do 5,000 of these box sets? It all gets sold out, and before you realise it, an £80 box set is now 260 quid on eBay the moment it's released. Is that something that you'd be interested in as a collector?
Night, Junie.
That would be a cool idea. It depends on how many films Disney release that year and if they're ones that I'd be interested in. But like the Disney Plus shows on 4K and the Prey 4K Steelbook have done really well, sold out everywhere. You can't even pre-order them.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a demand for them, and Disney's going to see it. And they haven't had a great year, so I'm going to say we're going to see more of this stuff, and maybe even big collector's editions. Last year was the 100th anniversary of Disney. What did they release out? The only real special 4K was probably Prey and Titanic, where Warner Brothers actually did go into their back catalogue and release a lot of special films on their 100th anniversary label.
Yeah. So as you can see, little Steve's got a library of discs behind him there, and I've only got a small one down here, so I'm not really a big physical.
It's not about the size, Steve.
That's right. It's about the quality, isn't it?
You've only got a small one. It's not your fault.
My collection of the X-Men cartoons beats your 1,000 Blu-rays. Is that what you say? So when you're looking at, so from a physical side, the toys and the collectibles and stuff, I'll be interested in that. So I wouldn't mind doing it for the collectibles if they were great collectibles. That's something that not many people are going to have that of. But I see the box sets that he picks up, and I take the piss out of that American Psycho business card, because I know that that's the only reason why he spent 40 quid on that box set was that bastard business card.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's already got the film. So that's the only reason why he's bought it. But
correct.
For me, though, that these big collector's box sets are a major letdown. I was sort of tempted with the Picard box set because you got all TNG, you got the movies, you got Picard season 1 and 3, and then there was a few bits in there as well. The only things that would have tempted me, and I can buy them separately now, is the Star Trek Deltas. Do you know the Starfleet Deltas? That was the only thing in that box set that I could would have swayed me to that, because I could buy the box sets cheaper elsewhere separately than spending the money on that collection bookcase. Little Steve is looking now, trying to justify his latest purchase.
No, I've got Warriors. The Warriors on the way, the 4K.
Oh, what, the Arrow one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice looking set.
Yeah. So I've got that's on the way. But there's a couple that are coming up that look good. But like you said, Steve, you've got to justify it, really. I mean, it's like that. I know Kel was saying she was always after a 4K of 7. And as luck would have it, obviously the seven's either come out now or it's coming out soon. I forget. But there seems to be a very little difference between what is a 40-50 quid set and a 60-70 quid set, other than literally a box that says what's in the box sort of thing.
The box is an extra now, it seems. It even says on it, like, introducing, like, this box.
Yeah, introducing a box.
Yeah.
Well, we were laughing and joking about that a couple of weeks ago, weren't we? Saying if it doesn't come with a box, it's a
disappointment.
It's a marketing foobar right from the off. If it doesn't come with a bloody box,
they urge you, Steve. They urge you loud and clear, mate.
See, we might only have another 20 quid for the privilege. 500 subs, but we've got the right 500 people. No, the thing for, like, as I said, the thing for me is the you look at Steelbook Games when the games went down that route. I've got down here the Halo Reach statue that day with the Halo Reach game.
Oh.
You don't get that in Blu-rays.
No.
You don't get that in your 80, 90 pound 4K.
You don't even get that in games anymore now.
No.
Like, those back in the day was probably about 60 quid. Now they're 200-300.
This is what we used to get.
Yeah.
This is what we need to go back to. Make it worth me spending that money. So, do you know what? If I can get the game for 50 quid, but I can get the special one for 80 quid, and I get that statue and I get a DLC when it's released, then it's worth spending the extra money.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. It was AJ Money that was showing that Spider-Man one. Spider-Man one. Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5.
Mm,
And it was like £200 for this box
Yeah.
set, which is essentially this steelbook of the game or the game
Yeah.
and a statue. So you're paying 150 quid for a statue.
and you don't get the game; you get a DLC code for it. I think you don't actually get the disc.
No, you
Wow.
download it. You download it to the console. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can't sell it on.
Yep.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing I reckon Xbox and Sony need to start looking into. If I'm spending 50, 60 quid to download the game physically now to my console, I understand I own that license for that game, but I only own that license for the time that Sony wants to support the game.
Yeah.
So if Sony then decide, or Xbox then decide to take it off, because now they've announced that they're not going to support the Master Chief Collection for Halo anymore,
Really?
and that's the only place now that you can play all Halo 1 to Reach in one place now. That's the only is on Xbox Live, but then with them not supporting it, 343 are no longer going to support the game. It won't be long before Xbox pull that out if it starts getting buggy. Because the complaints will be going to Xbox, not 343. So if they do that, and I've only got a downloadable copy of the game, what they should be able to do is that I should be able to say to them, right, I'm selling you my license back. What's that worth?
Yeah. I'm selling it you twice the price.
And if I'm getting it back for 10 quid now after owning the game for four or 5 years, then that's 10 quid that I'm going to spend with them elsewhere. And all the games that you own, you sell your licenses back, and then you build up your store credit back with that franchise.
Yeah, it would be a good idea. It would. I know a lot of like online games now are being delisted all over the place, and you paid 50 quid for them when they come out, and now they're being cut off, and you can never play them. And all you've got is essentially just a drinks coaster, a disc that you can't play.
Yeah.
What was it? Conan Open World. That was one of them, wasn't it? You know, you did the Conan.
Oh yeah, come out a few years ago, didn't it?
Is it Exile? Conan
Exiles,
Exile?
yeah. The Friday the 13th game.
Well, that lasted 8 months and it disappeared. Battlestar Galactica had an open world game online that disappeared, but people were spending 50, 60 quid to get these games,
and then they had
downloaded them, getting as far as they can, and then all of a sudden the service shut down the next day.
And then if you've got like in-game purchases that you've been buying as well, it soon mounts up.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, is that there needs to be a bit more responsibility around it, like almost like a service agreement.
Yeah.
You know, if you buy this game and you purchase all these extras in the game, you know, it should be for a period of time that they support it. You know, like buying a TV now and having smart TV and stuff like that, and they'll have a users agreement where they'll support it for a certain amount of years. You need to at least have that as a sort of backup, because these games will come out and then 6 to 12 months later, if they're not a smash hit, they'll just close them.
Yeah. Well, look at what was the. It was supposed to be the Destiny killer. Was it Anvil?
Anthem.
That's it.
Anthem, yeah.
Where's that?
Yeah.
Where's that? That launched. It was shit. They put 2 patches in, and it's right. We're going to take it offline to fix it, and never brought it back.
The biggest issues is not the developers; it's them up above, the studios. Want them coming out straight fast so they can get all this money and be the next like Fortnite, and that isn't going to work.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But like I say, the buyers should have protection on it of a certain amount of service, and if they don't get that, they should get a refund.
I think Bungie have definitely got it right with what they've done with Destiny, because they release a big expansion every couple of years. Yeah, but every 3 months there's like a story expansion. So it expands the story slowly, but then they also filter in like community events and stuff like that over that time. And although the grind's the same, you're doing the same activities and everything else, it slowly moves the story on, ready for that big expansion to come in, and you're ready for it, you know. But then when you look at Halo Infinite, we've not had a story expansion for that for 2 years since the original story drop. We haven't expanded that story. Yeah.
Wow. That's bad.
Yeah. They did it
That's what
with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, didn't they? When you bought Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4 or whatever it
Oh, I
was,
remember that,
they
yeah.
chucked in one of the Modern Warfares because it'd just been taken off Xbox
Call of
Live.
Duty 4, innit?
You've now got your physical disc. Stop your moaning.
Mm.
And it wasn't a case that we were moaning about it. You've bought the game, you've installed it, you've bought it online, you've invested hours of your life on this game, and then they went, right, okay, you're not playing it now. Army of Two is another one. Prime example, Army of Two, that just disappeared.
Yeah.
There was no warning for that. At least on Xbox Live now, they're saying, oh, by the way, you've got 90 days to play this game because we're taking it away on this date. But you haven't paid for that. You know, you've downloaded it through Xbox Live, so you know you're only technically renting it until they've decided it's no longer viable. I'm not sure if PlayStation still have PlayStation Network. That was something similar.
It's PlayStation Plus now. That's a bit similar to Xbox Live. Another one I'm thinking of recently is Red Dead Redemption, the first one, limited to PS3, but they've re-released it on PS4 and Switch. But like they can easily remove the license again of it. It's a worrying time. That's why you need to have a physical one so that you've got it there.
Yeah.
And they can never take it away from you.
Yeah.
But what's the point in having a physical copy of the game if you can't play it online? And that, you know, that's the problem that we've got. A lot of these Titanfall, you couldn't play Titanfall campaign without being online.
Yeah,
it's the same as Destiny. You can't play the Destiny campaign without being online.
This is the big thing. It's the always online functionality. Whilst Red Dead is like a single player game, these games with online, they need to just like say, right, we're closing down the online servers, but what we're going to do is we're going to introduce an update, but you can still play that single player portion of it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think that's
what they need
fair.
to do.
That's fair enough, isn't it?
Because a new one is coming out, the Suicide Squad game, that got a lot of crap over what they're doing, and I still don't think it's going to be offline. You've got to play that online, and the hype's pretty much died for that.
Yeah.
No. So when you said that you were playing a lot of games over Christmas, Pete, what were you playing?
Super Mario Wonder, really good. The Crew, Motorsports, a bit more Spider-Man. The new Avatar game, that was really good as well.
Oh, right.
That's better than the movie.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a big fan of the movies, but as a game, it works really well. It does.
Yeah. Because it does look really good. Because I was looking at it on the Xbox, and I thought that looks quite interesting. But like I say, I wasn't a big fan of the sequel to Avatar. I think Cameron is another Snyder. I think he just needs to get back to actually enjoying making films instead of trying to make masterpieces of every time. And
Avatar just felt like watching a long video game cutscene. It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think it looked any different to the original Avatar. And the whole reason why we've waited a decade for it is because we were waiting for special effects to catch up with his.
It's very much the same film again, just even longer.
Yeah, so I don't think that worked in his favor for me. I would have hoped he just pumped out a trilogy of films in a decade, and I've done with it, and wait a decade in between each film. Even though Xbox are removing the 360 store this year, they'll be moving some of the 360s, aren't they? And they're hoping to bring out new versions for the new Xbox of some of those games. So I don't think it's all doom and gloom as it's been presented, and I think this is why Activision were trying to get the hands on the War for Cybertron games a couple of months ago.
Transformers in there.
Yeah. And you know, I've still got the original games on
Oh, yeah,
digital download on the Xbox. So yeah,
Ah,
they'll be gone soon.
I can still play mine.
Have you
But
played Transformers Devastation? That's really good.
oh, that's awesome! I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It took me a while getting hold of the controls and getting hold of the functionality of it, but yeah, once you figure it all out, it's a decent game.
Mm.
But yeah, I think, like you say, Microsoft are looking at the older catalogs, and a lot of the classic 360 games now are getting a modern twist and being released, and that's why, like I say, that's why Activision were looking for the War for Cybertron games. It also didn't help the fact that the Hasbro released the reprint of War for Cybertron figures to go with the game release, but then Hasbro didn't release the game. Sorry, Activision couldn't release the game, so they went ahead with the toy line release anyway. Go figure. But so when you're talking Red Dead, I couldn't get into Red Dead because Red Dead was just GTA on horseback for me, and I was not a big GTA fan.
Yeah.
There's obviously calls for the remastered version of Red Dead to be released. Are you on that bandwagon? Would you like to see that?
Well, that's essentially what it was. It's called a remaster, but it's more or less just brought it to new consoles with very little work done. But at least with like the Switch version, the whole game is there on the cartridge, no updates needed. So in 10, 20 years' time, you can put it in your console and still have the whole game. Ain't got to worry about downloading anything, which is one good thing.
Because you're a Switch and PlayStation man, aren't you, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, what annoys me is, and it's annoyed me ever since like about midway through Call of Duties, and then Red Dead was another one. You know, is the second you put it into the PlayStation, it's like, yeah, download 80 gigs worth of stuff for me.
Call of Duty's
And
horrendous now.
3 hours.
Yeah, 3 weeks later. But it's just that the amount of space. I think I had Red Dead. I played Red Dead 1, and then I put Red Dead 2 in, and it basically wiped out my hard drive pretty much on the PlayStation, and I was like, right, I'm gonna have to start deleting things just to fit this on.
Yeah,
you know. But I know Call of Duty is proper synonymous for that now. Whereas before it wasn't really that bad.
It takes up nearly the whole system, half the system now. It's stupid.
Yeah, I know,
and it's all online only, isn't it now? So there's nothing.
These companies that created these consoles, they knew at the time that this is something that would potentially happen. You know, you sort of a customer. We end up going out and getting external hard drives or getting an upgrade for the hard drive or something like that.
This isn't a new issue though, Steve. How many PlayStation 1 memory cards did you have knocking around your house? How many spare terabyte hard drives for the Xbox 360 did you have lying around your house? It's not a new issue. It's just that we all want top-notch content. We all want top-notch graphics. We all want the nostalgia of things, but all these things take space and time and everything else. And you don't want to delete a copy of go back to Destiny, an original Destiny release, because you will never get it again.
Yeah. I said he's looking forward to the new South Park game. That's interesting. I didn't know there was a new one coming out, and it's going to be about 30 quid when it on release.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's
isn't it?
Quite cheap that for a new release film.
Yeah, can you imagine? What the hell? I remember that sort of queuing up outside Asda at midnight to try and get a £27 copy of like Call of Duty or.
Oh, remember when they did that? The queues. There's no midnight launches much now, really. Queuing up outside shops. I miss that.
But are you past the age though, Pete, of booking a day off work to play the game on release day though?
Yeah.
You know, sorry, boss, I'm not coming in for 4 months on Thursday. Why? Call of Duty's dropped, and I want to be level 50 by the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Level 50, yeah.
Yeah, I want to be level 50 by the end of the day.
I do think with a lot of the Call of Duties now, they're very much of the same. They're not doing nothing really new. I heard the new one, Modern Warfare 3, the story mode is pretty much non-existent.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was always been like a cinematic thing for the Call of Duty, wasn't it? It was always like, you know, it weren't massively long, but it was cinematic, and then you just play online.
Mm.
Yeah, you go and kill someone, you go and kill some terrorists. Then one of your squad members gets killed, so you go and kill another terrorist, and then another one of your squad members then becomes a terrorist. That's probably been the storyline for the last 6 modern warfares,
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
probably.
Call of Duties.
Mm.
You know, there's only so many times Ghost and Wolf can survive getting stabbed in the back, and then you know.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, I don't know what else you could do in the way of that. And Battlefield was the same, wasn't it? You know, they've now worked their way up to modern day. That the fact that they're now going back to World War One to sort of start it all afresh. I've heard this year's COD game's going to be a sequel to BO2, well, or Black Ops. Yeah.
Mm.
Which is the one they started flying around in?
Infinity something.
In Infinite Warfare or something?
Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
It's got the guy from Game of Thrones in, I think, hasn't it?
Yeah,
That just really annoyed me, that one.
that's when they went into
Hey,
the
Cal.
future. That's when they went all futuristic and give us cyborgs and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
They almost pulled the Fast and the Furious, you know, when he said, you know, the only thing we haven't done is gone to space. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what Call of Duty has done. It's like, right, we've now got a space Starship Troopers style here now. Off we go.
It's just the fact that you'd be playing against somebody and they'd be fucking pretty much flying around. No, I'm not doing this.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's like a double jump on steroids.
So you're talking gaming now, and what game would you like to see made into a live action that we haven't already got here?
Oh, well, apparently we're getting Legend of Zelda coming soon, so that would be really good. And I think Metroid would be perfect, as it was inspired a lot by Alien. It'd be, I think, pretty much a home run if it keeps to the source material.
Starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I don't know. He's had his go at his game and films, hasn't he?
Rampage, didn't he? That was really good.
Rampage. He's done Jumanji. He's done Doom.
Oh yeah, Doom was a lot of fun.
So yeah, he's had his go at his computer franchises. The one for me, and I know that we've got a TV series. The one for me would be a decent level Halo movie. Maybe at the end of season 2, give us a proper Halo film. But one that I would love to see live action would be Gears of War.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of people want that. That would be good.
Give me a Gears of War movie.
It'll be an Amazon Prime TV series.
Oh, there we go. Michael's just put. I hope to hear more about the Gears of War film. Yeah, I know it was. Michael announced back in 2014 that we were going to get a Gears of War film. They even announced the full cast, but we never got anything in it. And I think the 2022 was the same again. It's like Henry Cavill with Warhammer.
Yeah.
You know, they're now announcing the fact that he's definitely signed on. We're going to get it, but it could be 5 years down the line before we get an episode of Warhammer.
That's mental, isn't it? Speaking of 5 years down the line, Luke said he's looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6. Can't wait for the game. It'll be awesome. He's playing FIFA at the minute, which is amazing. Or FC 24 now. Pete, what's your favourite game of all time?
Ooh, probably something like Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I've played that no end of times. Such a brilliant game.
Yeah.
Do you know I can top that? Sonic the Hedgehog 2 plugged into the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, so you can play.
Oh, sitting it up there.
Yeah,
Did you remember that where you popped it up and put it in? You got the Knuckles character in the game. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Such an innovative way of change of refreshing the content that you've already bought.
Yeah.
You know, that was brilliant.
DLC for the 90s.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You can either play the stock game, you can play the stock game with Sonic and Knuckles, or you can play the stock game as Knuckles and you just plug it in. It was like the Master System converter for the Mega Drive, wasn't it? You put that, you can still play Alex the Kid on your Mega Drive.
Oh, wow.
Luke, you're going to have to go back and Google anything that we just said in the last 3 minutes there, mate. What's Michael saying there? Just like to say a big bit, yeah. It would be great to an Uncharted movie that was. I haven't played the Uncharted game, so I'm not a PlayStation man. So I can enjoy the film for what it is without knowing what the source material was. This is why I'm still a bit nervous about watching The Last of Us, because everybody says that The Last of Us sticks to the game until a certain point in the series, and I don't want to get to that certain point and not know where the different. But then, I
picked it up as well the other week now.
Yeah, I can sort of enjoy it for what I'm watching. You know, if it's a good series and not worry about it. I was a little. I'm in two minds about Halo. Because they never stuck to the source material of the games, but they sort of mashed the games in with the book material. So we got something of the two. And like I say, I like the book series and I like the game series. So I was sort of okay that they never stuck to the source material right down that route. But looking at the trailers for season 2, it's bringing us back into the game sort of arena. I think you've learned the lesson from that. But yeah, Gears would be amazing. Stick to Gears and give me a Gears.
Dave Bautista would be brilliant in that
as Marcus.
As one of them. I've never played the series, but yeah, I think he'd suit it as the main character.
Yeah, that'll be a good. That'll be a good one. Or give me a. Going back down to like cartoon level, give me a decent G.I. Joe movie. You know, live action G.I. Joe. Give me a decent live action G.I. Joe, and not throwaway cameo Bruce Willis at the end of the film with The Rock and Channing Tatum. You don't need that shit. No. You don't need that shit. Right. It's now 9 o'clock, guys, and I am in work in the morning. Little Steve is going to go off and do his thumbnails for his 18 videos and pickups that he's got to show.
Just the one at a time, yeah. There's one. Next video.
Yeah, yay! You've got to catch up. Do you know what, Pete? He did his first useful thing of the year yesterday. He modded on someone's whatnot.
Wow. Shut up, you.
Let's just hope he hasn't peaked for 2024. Right. So thank you for joining us, Peter. You know you are more than welcome on the channel at any point, mate, to come and have a chat to us. What have you got coming up on in the way of content recently, or?
I don't know yet. Probably going to do some pickup videos. Going to do some film of the years, game of the year stuff, and then going to be doing some streams in the up and coming weeks. And it'd be great to get you guys on. Been wanting to get you on for ages.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
and I really enjoyed tonight. Thanks ever so much for
giving
us.
No, you're more than welcome. You can come on anytime you want, little Steve. You just come on uninvited anyway. So, right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching us. Don't forget to like the video. That just tells YouTube that we're doing something correct. If you haven't already, then hit that subscribe button. We would like to get to the 1,000 mark this year. It's been a
century, really.
It's been a
dream
long
of-
haul to be stuck at 540. Yeah, so it'll be nice to get to the 1,000. I know we don't do it for the subs, we do it just for talking to you guys, but
Yes.
let's get us there anyway. On that note, I'm gonna love yous and leave yous. So if I can find the outro video with bloody things that hide in there, there you go. Right, Pete, if you're gonna get a co-host, get one that actually knows what he's doing. Did you see what he did to us last week?
What happened there?
He ended the stream about 20 minutes in. He pressed the wrong.
I got bored.
You pressed the wrong button and it come up end stream, and I was like, Steve, what you doing? You turned us off.
Well, we did 2 videos last week. The other week,
We did.
Oh, well.
This is the third part of the trilogy.
2 lives in the same now.
See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.